So now let's welcome our next speaker. He is Mr. Rajaneesh. He is the RPA lead in To Automate Anything. So Rajaneesh is a highly seasoned robotic process automation specialist with 14 plus years of experience in software engineering. He's having excellent quality and process-oriented mindset, implemented RPA in various projects. Today he will speak on the topic business case for RPA. So over to you, Rajneesh.
Um, all right, so let me get started. So RPA in business is my topic today. So I'm going to talk about this one magic of getting all your time back in your business using a technology called robotic process automation or RPA. So in simple terms, RPA can be defined as automation of work using digital robots. So RPA is probably the most fastest, most efficient and effective path to digital transformation, which is replacing older digital technology or processes with a newer digital technology such as UiPath. So RPA is the technology that enables the computer software to emulate and integrate actions typically performed by humans interacting with the digital systems. RPA can capture data, so they can run applications, they can trigger responses, they can take decisions based on predefined rules and communicate with other systems are only few of the capability that they can do. Even there are more, but these are the primary capabilities. So they primarily targeted on processes that are highly manual, repetitive, rule-based, with low exception rates and high standard electronic readable input. So this is not just one technology, it's a combination of multiple technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, intelligent character recognition, and many more. So this combination allows RPA robots to perform various activities, starting from simple to complex activities without any human intervention. So why RPA? So although we have developed many software applications to help the humans to take care of our daily activities, we are all still busy doing some mundane and repetitive actions. So over time, what happened is all those work, they got started piling up again and again, and we used to work like robots. Moreover, the pandemic coronavirus has completely changed our lifestyle, the way we work, eat, sleep, spend our free time, and so on. So everything has changed, and one of the main consequences of this pandemic was the forced or the compelling digital transformation of an individual or any companies, no matter whether they are ready or not, in order to stay competitive in the business landscape. So we all know that RPA is already being used across many industries and companies that implemented RPA before the pandemic. They are the luckiest one because they experienced very less operation problems and they were able to stay ahead of the competitors. Many companies also evidenced that RPA is a game changer for digital transformation during this pandemic. So while RPA has many benefits depending on the industry where it is being implemented, I can tell only those most common benefits as follows, which is like the non-invasive. It does not. What does non-invasive means it does not require any major IT architecture change or infrastructure change. So because it already has a deep integration with the underlying system, so it offers reliable, fast, and cost-effective solution for a lightweight integration into processes and IT assets. It is easy to scale because the amount of work involved by a process can vary as changes are likely to occur in most business environments. So if an RPA solution is used, a company can easily adapt by scaling the solution either up or down depending on the requirements. It is a future proof of technology, mainly because robots, even though it worked with today technology, yet the automations are extensible and it is able to handle even tomorrow's technology, any new technology as well. And other benefit is that it's increased customer satisfaction which is on reducing the risk of errors. The customer will no longer have to wait for any specific service to happen. For example, waiting in a queue for a long time or complaining about a poor quality of service. It improves the customer satisfaction. Compliance and regulations. So by that I mean every organization has to adhere to government rules and regulations. So meeting this compliance and regulation requires a lot of manual effort, as there are many tasks to be performed. However, it is not possible for a human to meet all these roles. So this virtual workforce can help meet these roles, as they can work 24/7, and they can generate execution logs for compliance reporting as well. So RPA is a big savior in that. So it can significantly reduce the risk of fraud, and again it improves the employee satisfaction, as I told in my previous steps. It uses RPA for mundane tasks, will eventually allow them to focus on, the employees can focus on more important tasks that allow improves their motivation and productivity level. So these are all the reasons we need RPA. So what RPA can do? So I have listed only the few actions, but they are able to do even more than this. But generally, in a work environment, we usually read emails, send emails, and process the attachments. We log into the web, some applications like web application or desktop application, enterprise applications. So we used to move files and folders. We used to copy and paste data. We fill in forms, and work with the web applications, and reading and writing data to databases, and reporting across multiple systems. So those are few of the tasks we do. And even we mostly, like many companies, they used to scrape data and do a lot of analysis on those data, which RPA is the primary source of scraping the data from the websites and Internet of Things data collections and analysis. It is used, and any simple to complex calculations as well, in loan processing or in banking backend data, and extracting data from scanned and computer generated documents that can be either structured or semi-structured documents, collecting social media statistics and performing different analytics on them, and automated customer services and standard letter writing. So those are a few other things that RPA can be helpful in many cases. So how RPA can be adapted? So this is something most important to implement RPA in an organization. So there are multiple steps in that. So I'll just touch upon on main three steps that we need to focus to make this magic happen. So the first step on the path to digital transformation is to adapt a mindset called the automation first mindset, and that is the basic reason of our company having the name to automate anything. So we will see that feasibility of automation in any industry or any applications or any business that we do. So we'll always have that mindset of to automate almost anything. And even if you're not able to do anything, that also will automate that really makes sense, or to help the individuals or the organizations. And so this automation mindset plays a key role. So the first question that we need to ask is like, how can I automate this task? So mainly to improve the efficiency or the effectiveness. So rather trying to execute all work manually. So this mantra will help enable your company to move faster, operate efficiently and more effectively, and serves your customers better. So the final outcome would be that it unburdens your employee from mundane and repetitive and boring tasks, and enable them to focus on solving problems and creating more value. So in the applying the automation mindset, the first thing is the robot for every person. So just as Bill Gates envisioned a world for a PC for every desktop, UiPath have envisioned a world with a robot for every person, where every worker has a robot to help with their tasks. So what it does, it frees them to use time for higher level of work. our workers feel less stressed and become more happier and more productive. And second approach is to have an open and free collaboration. By encouraging the automation first mindset within the organization, these ideas can mix, mingle, and make magic. And analyze your business, and that is more of that you need to understand really the business, how it can be automated. And robot can learn skills, which is another important point, that we are enabling robots to learn new skills. As I told, RPA is not a single technology, it is a combination of multiple technology. So adapting the artificial intelligence and machine learning, so robots not only must do that grunt work, but they can need to able to act intelligently. So with AI and machine learning, robot can extend the scope of work. They complete beyond rule based actions to judgmental tasks. So RPA roles and responsibilities. So in a center of excellence team, so there are different players in the team, like solution architects, business analyst, RPA developer, tester, implementation manager, infrastructure engineer, or RPA support. So together they form a team, and they have different roles and responsibilities. So business analysts initially help us in process analysis and identifying the tasks for automation. And developers, solution architect, and business analyst together create different tasks or documents, such as process design document and solution design document, to find the development tasks. And tester will help us test the RPA solution. So very similar like software development methodology or any other software development workflow. So this RPA also have everything starting from analysis, design, implementation, and support. So all the same workflow applies to RPA as well. And identifying process for RPA. So in this case, like we have certain main characteristics when we look at when deciding the automation potential of a process. So at a high level, I would say we could categorize into two main segments, which is one is the process fitness and other is the automation complexity. So a few factors are involved in the process of calculating the fitness of a process. So I think I have this diagram, which is like a process assessment matrix. So this will give you some fair idea of how to map the processes that we have into this process assessment matrix. So once we identified which bucket the process falls into, the organization then can prioritize the automation initiative based on the matrix. So like they can prioritize quick wins process in the initial stage, as they are less complicated and provide the highest benefit, the low hanging fruits in this diagram, and also the quick wins. And so they are the best candidates for this automation. And long-term improvements and must-do improvements is quite complex and may need help of AI and machine learning as well in some case. But if in case it is not able to automate, yes, we cannot automate, it's better to do manually in some cases. So understanding the stages of RPA journey. So we have different phases here, like a discovery phase, and the build, manage, run, engage, and measure. So these are the main phase we have mainly with the UiPath implementations. So in the discovery phase, we discover for all the using the automation first mindset. We unearth all the processes that needs to be automated. In that stage, like all the roles and responsibilities, like BA testers or everybody joins together, and they create this documents, like the requirement documents we say here as process definition document, and the solution design document is created. In the build phase, like we have two different approaches, like either it can be a center of excellence or a democratized team, and we build the solutions in this phase, and we manage the automation solution that are built that are required to be deployed and updated from time to time. And run, so depending on the organization needs, the robot executes the processes developed in the user's machine or virtual environments. Either it can be a background automation or foreground automation. So background automation is done like without human interventions. And in the engage phase, every business processes that includes the steps that require decision making by users who perform it. Some of these decisions are rule based, but some of them are require some expertise and user experience. In such scenarios, the robot and the user, they together work to perform certain steps, while the robot take care of the most complex activities. So this concept we call in UiPath as human in the loop. So where we involve the human only for certain steps where authorization may be required or a signature may be required. So which the robot cannot do instead of a person. So it asks the human to perform that actions. So where robots assign tasks for the user, and once the user completes, the robot takes over the control and it performs the rest of the activities. And finally, with the measurement, it is like the effect created like requires measuring. We need the measurement to understand how to scale the RPA initiatives. So this provides insight into the automation outcomes and the impact made to align the RPA strategy to achieve the organization goals. So so we so far saw what is RPA and what it is capable to do, and what are the different steps and different approaches and how we adapt the RPA in the business. So now we see what is actually happening in the business. So RPA is applied across various industries and many many businesses as well, and like the industries such as services, financial, healthcare, education, technology, manufacturing, retail, government, and publishing. So we have to automate anything has involved with most of these industries so far, and we have come across many automation as such. Like invoicing is the common process. Even though I have mapped specific process to a specific industry, so this most of them are common to across all the industries, such as invoicing and claim processing or call center processes applies to across all the industries. We have done a lot of financial work in the fraud detection and prevention, which we call as the anti-money laundering. So those kind of scenarios we have come across, and data integration, like internal and external data integration, we have done with many software such as Salesforce, as well as the databases, which is like Microsoft server. And account settlement and account opening or closure, any loan processing or credit card requisitions, and customer onboarding is a common scenario across many industries. And in healthcare, digitizing and updating the patient records, inventory management, invoice settlement, automated report generation, and again it's a common scenario. And in education, you can think about any the colleges or universities that takes the course registration twice a year, and they need to have a proper attendance management to maintain the students records, and course schedule management. They have multiple courses, and processing and grades and report cards. So are a few scenarios that we can automate. But those are highly manual processes with RPA. So those can be easily automated and saves 80 to 90% of the time the manual efforts are saved. And in technology, which means in IT industry, the incident management, client data management, enabling and disabling client services are few of the scenarios or automated processes that can be automated. And in manufacturing industry, as in inventory management, procurement management, and payment processing are few of the areas that can be automated. And similarly, in retail, government, and publishing, we have several same scenarios. In the government, like it's the border protection, data verification, and fraud detection and prevention are the main areas that can be RPA. So I'll go through few of the scenarios. So the use cases that we come across. So it is the what is the payroll processing, and other is the invoice processing, and financial statement reconciliation are few of the use cases that we have done. In the call center automation as well, we have automated many processes in the call center. So recently in a call center automation, so one of the product, at the end of year they give some offers, and there are multiple, they're like every day they receive thousands of calls for activating the product, or like extending the period of activation. So those are very common scenarios. So there are very high manual efforts on that to, in the customer service side, where they open certain mainframe applications and a few applications to enter data manually. So we have saved like 90% of the time and given back to them. So where where they send emails or call, which is automatically routed to a form, and from there it is converted into Excel, and from there it gets all the data. So it opens all the mainframe applications and enter the data there, and then reply the email to back to the customer saying that their case has been resolved, which the drastically, like I would say, it's a significantly increased the customer satisfaction of that company. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, I have very limited time, so you can ask any questions, or if you have any feedbacks or have more questions, you can contact me here in LinkedIn, or I have listed my email address for you to contact me. So it's time for you to ask any.
Yes. So thank you, Rajneesh. Thank you for your presentation.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Yeah, and Rajneesh, this is the token of thanks which we want to tell you for your valuable insight and valuable time. So this is a certificate of honor which we are going to provide you later on email also. So
Okay.
thank you for your valuable insight, and thank you
Yeah.
for your valuable time.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure talking here.